Hey beautiful human, I'm RidersDX, and you're probably wondering why my voice has suddenly morphed into that of a hyena. That's because approximately 3 weeks ago, THQ Nordic themselves dropped a very suspicious code in my email, and let's just say that, life was never the same. I've had to grapple with emotional breakdowns, shitstorms, and epiphanies all in one the past few weeks, and I can finally tell you that I was wrong about literally everything when it comes to this game. Now excuse me as I do some last minute preparation for this TED Talk. Spongebob the Cosmetically Appealing Shindig. What a trip this game can be. Announced at the THQ Nordic Anniversary Showcase as the big finishing reveal, hype was immediately instilled into the mind of your subject. Alright, is this... Purple Lamp Studios was returning to the helm with their own original title that looked to be picking up exactly where Rehydrated left off. And once we got gameplay of the game itself, it was safe to say this was a successor to Battle for Bikini Bottom in every way possible. The same gameplay mechanics returning, the same art style, the same sorts of levels, but now these zany coats of paint filled with surprises, creating a game that looked to be the true next step for SpongeBob games. Even the plot was taken a bit from Battle for Bikini Bottom. Think of SpongeBob and Patrick wishing for robots to invade Bikini Bottom, but instead of the conch shell, think mermaid's tears, and instead of robots, think cosmic jelly, and instead of plankton being the root cause here, well, it actually is SpongeBob and Patrick this time. I mean, aside from the fact that SpongeBob was a sole character, everything here from the crazier environments and influx of costumes and personality, along with a purple lamp that just seemed much more confident, strutting in its black suede shoes, resulted in something that looked extremely promising. But here's the truth. I'm probably going to be hung over a fire pit as I'm roasted to the most burnt piece of meat I could ever get when I say that a lot of my initial optimism for this game was pretty forced. I mean, don't get me wrong, I was really happy to see Purple Lamp get a fair shot at producing an original SpongeBob title. I mean, so many other developers did in the past, with some who should arguably be dealt with a restraining order so that they are never to set foot on the store of Bikini Bottom ever again. But I guess the older you get, the more shit you've seen go down in terms of unfulfilled promises, the more cynical you are of things going well. And when I figured this out, I simply wasn't confident that Purple Lamp was up to the task of making this game. Before I even started working on my Rehydrated video, I felt a weird sense of emptiness about that remake that I refused to let creep into my mind in the past. But once I began to grapple with my true issues with Rehydrated, I decided to just let Cosmic Shake be, and only to look at it again when it came to my doorstep. It's basically human nature to screw shit up, and I just believe everyone on this planet is only capable of making shit. So to just let go of my expectations like that and not cover this game the way that I would in the past, I got to go into Cosmic Shake with an open mind. I didn't let myself get infatuated with the zany bright colors of a modern SpongeBob world, but at the same time, I didn't dwell in the puddles of depression as I yearned for an experience that tried to be more than an extension of BFBB minus Patrick and Sandy. I want to take this moment to thank THQ Nordic for blessing me with a review copy, so let's take this crippling geezer through a journey that attempts to take his childhood and make it blossom. The Cosmic Shake starts off simple enough. SpongeBob commits a battery offense on Squarepants' house and frolics into the world. I have to say, the way the game opens up in classic SpongeBob fashion with his obnoxious alarm clock and him screaming "I'm ready" just brought the biggest smile to my face. You're immediately dropped into the hub world of the game, which is honestly a more interesting version of the one from Battle for Bikini Bottom. You'll keep returning back to this world with more paths and secrets to find each time, and it's honestly such a blast to traverse through. I could do without the enemies popping in so frequently, but it's a minor annoyance at most. The color scheme was what really threw me off, as this was a pretty different looking Bikini Bottom than what we're used to, but I dig it. It's basically better for it to look like this than to look exactly the same as Rehydrated, so it's cool. The game immediately throws you all this dialogue that makes you realize Purple Lamp already understood the most important part of the assignment, making this a SpongeBob experience. I mean, some of this dialogue is just hilarious.
Back after my alarm goes off. I'm on a tight beauty sleep schedule.
How could this happen to me? Why is my life like such a tragedy?
I'm hungry and confused. Mommy!
As you go through Bikini Bottom chatting with all the familiar looking faces and completing your objectives, the game eventually progresses through the first major plot point, which is SpongeBob and Patrick misusing the mermaid's tears and sending everyone to all these wacky dimensions. Cassandra, the mermaid who, while provided you with said tears and is selflessly helping you to fix Bikini Bottom with no ulterior motive whatsoever. This is a joke the game constantly makes, by the way. Eventually reveals to you that you need to rescue your friends from these cosmic worlds while collecting thousands of pounds of cosmic jelly to bring to her so that she can fix Bikini Bottom. And thus, that is a setup for why you see Spongebob in a Halloween-themed rock bottom, a pirate-fused Goo Lagoon. They really should have thrown some robots in there and made a robot pirate island, by the way. Downtown Bikini Bottom turned into a movie set. I mean, this game gets really creative with the way it tampers with these iconic locations. The game takes its time in showing you all the different mechanics of SpongeBob, with most of them being shoved into the hub world and the first world. SpongeBob controls identically to Rehydrated. The team built this game off the foundation they had in Rehydrated. This is a great advantage of Cosmic Shake as it allowed them to focus on the overall game so much more. SpongeBob retains many of his basic moves like double jumping and the spin attack, but he also picks up so many more. A couple of them were stripped directly from Sandy, as SpongeBob is able to glide in the air using a pizza box and swing from hooks that served as a bungee jumps in Battle for Bikini Bottom. Along with that, he's got some completely original moves as well, like the karate kick that acts as a Sonic-like homing attack, which actually makes combat a lot more fast-paced. I really like controlling SpongeBob in this game. The levels feel correctly designed around his physics and moveset, and I barely had any problems in this game where I died due to mediocre controls. SpongeBob also has such a wide array of moves here that are all utilized to a comfortable level throughout the whole game. That balance is just such an important thing to have. It also helps though that the levels themselves are just a ton of fun to explore. As I previously mentioned, Cosmic Shake takes SpongeBob to a multitude of locations that are familiar yet unique all at the same time. The first world you get to encounter is Wild West Jellyfish Fields, and though it continues what I can only assume is to be a trend of making Jellyfish Fields the first level, this is far from the grassy lands you're used to. It's dry, desert-like, filled with cacti, tumbleweed, horses, and sheriffs to go around. The level certainly follows the theme with horseback riding riddled throughout the level, along with a fun little minigame where SpongeBob chugs some good old cactus juice. It's pretty fun to see how Purple Lamp approached these levels since they're practically original locations, and I'm overall very satisfied with how they turned out. Beyond the Wild West though, every location in this game really stands out in its own special way. Downtown Bikini Bottom as a movie set really did a good job of incorporating the Hollywood feel, the paparazzi, fans, and the movie set props lying everywhere, but then morphing into a tribute to Karate Island that was just chef's kiss. Pirate Goo Lagoon, although it's missing the robots to make the ultimate SpongeBob reference, it's still a ton of fun with all the exploding pies, the ships, its giant sandcastle, and of course, the all-important snotty mermaid.
She's pretty.
I won't spoil much more of the game for you, but just know all the environments really hold a special place in the game, and it's great to see it balanced out like this. I suppose the real question though is what the level design is like. I mean, the levels can look great and inviting, but are they actually fun to play? So Cosmic Shake is a linear platformer, there's no denying it. You're guided to travel from point A to point B, completing various tasks and objectives to progress through the game. I won't lie, I really wanted Purple Lamp to go for a more open-ended structure here. BFBB was a largely linear game, but because of the way you can travel to levels in a somewhat custom order, there was potential for a more open and exploratory platformer a la Super Mario 64 here. But not only does Cosmic Shake keep the linear structure, but you're also playing through a fixed level order, which is kinda to me, especially since I personally didn't notice a huge difficulty spike between levels, so it didn't really make sense. However, linear gameplay doesn't necessarily mean a bad game, and the level design in Cosmic Shake is still pretty solid platforming. I would have loved for something a little more inventive than what we got, but it was still enjoyable. Cosmic Shake does have some moments where you need to explore a somewhat open area before progressing to the next segment though, and these parts, in my opinion, are the most fun aspects of this game. My favorite part of this game was this section of Halloween Rock Bottom where you essentially had to go trick-or-treating. You needed to collect candy bars to enter the snail race, and you did this by going to the various houses where you either got candy or a big old hug. I love the open-ended area you traverse through here, and it was a lot of fun exploring all the different corners and finding all sorts of collectibles. Plus, some of the references they have here were just so satisfying to witness.
I can't understand your accent. Chocolate! Chocolate! Finally, chocolate!
The game does try to encourage exploration through various collectibles. The main one is the doubloon, which are hidden throughout the various wish worlds. There's also other miscellaneous items you can collect that serve as side quests from characters in the hub world. For instance, Plankton gives you a mission to find Spot's secret hiding spot in every wish world. And what you get for completing these missions are doubloons. Basically, there's only one real collectible in this game, but these doubloons are what unlock the costumes, which is one of the game's biggest selling factors. And you know what? I'll take it. These costumes are a ton of fun to experiment with and a fun way to incorporate tons of references. There are definitely some that brought a huge smile to my face, but I won't spoil them. So this is all fine and dandy, but there's a major flaw of designing a game like this in this way. Due to the linearity of most of the levels, it honestly is just not all that fun to revisit the levels because you're essentially playing through the level all over again, keeping an eye out for things you missed the first time around. There's not really a lot of fun in finding these secrets with your new moves because for the most part, the game blatantly shows you in your first run through where these secrets are. However, there's either some bulky lock on it or it's a grayed out switch you can't activate yet. This just takes the fun out traveling throughout the world utilizing your new moves to discover new secrets you couldn't access before. Likewise though, this is a difficult thing to do in levels designed in this way, but it is possible. But maybe a more open-ended approach to level design could have made this more engaging. I will say the game does have a fast travel system ripped directly from BFBB, so it's not the worst thing in the world when retreading old ground. I just wish there was a little more creativity in these secrets beyond, hey, this is a switch, but you need to finish this level and then come back to use it. So no, the Cosmic Shake is not a trailblazer when it comes to making platformer that goes above and beyond in originality and complexity. So here's why I still want to be buried with it. There's a special metric that I grade Spongebob games with, and that is the sponginess meter. The whole reason why licensed games have always been so appealing in the first place is because of the possibilities they exude in being able to take a beloved franchise and craft an experience that's a unique extension of its world. And with a world as fun and lovable as SpongeBob's, the games of the franchise have always held a significant role in my childhood, no matter the quality. Which just makes it that much more impactful when you have a solidly designed title that also really feels like a SpongeBob game. I've made numerous references to the ways this game pays tribute to the main franchise, and that is most certainly not lost on me when it comes to this game as a package. If you're not a huge fan of the SpongeBob universe, in all honesty, Cosmic Shake isn't going to offer much that'll wow you. Sure, it's a solid platformer, but when you have games like Super Mario Odyssey and Sonic Frontiers out there pushing the envelope on what a platformer can be, Cosmic Shake definitely pales in comparison. But I love SpongeBob. This little square yellow sponge brings so much joy, whether it be through a classic TV episode, a goofy sing-along song, or even the smile that he gives me every morning when I make my coffee. So any opportunity I can get to spend some more time in the world of Bikini Bottom that's actually good, I'm 110% interested in. And Cosmic Shake really just continues Purple Lamp's great work in bringing the world of Bikini Bottom to a platformer. You can tell they took many notes from making Rehydrate and how Heavy Iron crafted the game to be the ultimate piece of fan service. I would even argue Cosmic Shake does it better, simply because it's covering a much longer period of time for the SpongeBob franchise. The game is also hilarious. I was nervous the writing was going to be unbearable for me due to the hyperactive, overly stimulating nature of the episodes being released through all 3 SpongeBob shows nowadays. I didn't even rule out a Snoop Dogg cameo in all honesty. Can you just imagine?
Horrible!
But man, this game is just funny. I mean sure, much of it is nostalgia baited comedy, but it's enjoyable and the more laid back atmosphere of these jokes does remind me of the initial seasons. The game even pulls music throughout the franchise for this game, whether it be through cutscene music, event triggered jingles in the levels, and beyond. Sure, it makes streaming this game a bitch and they really should have implemented a streaming friendly mode, but it really makes the game feel like a typical SpongeBob episode, and I'm so glad they did it in this manner. The music pulled from the franchise only complements the game as it's used sparingly for maximal impact. The rest of the music is completely original and composed by the same guys behind the original Battle for Bikini Bottom soundtrack, and is definitely another solid collection of musical pieces to add to the SpongeBob gaming library. My personal favorite would probably be the hub area. It has a fun little quirky feel to it that totally echoes the tone of a regular SpongeBob episode. All of this comes together to make one of the spongiest SpongeBob games I've ever witnessed, and I'm honestly just so grateful after all these years we got a proper successor to Battle for Bikini Bottom that took everything that went well in that title and then made something truly special. No, this game is not a Game of the Year contender due to revolutionary game design, but if you like classic 3D platformers and a fun universe to explore, the Cosmic Shake provides that and more. I'm super proud of Purple Lamp and THQ Nordic for fully understanding the potential of SpongeBob games and putting the work in to make something that operates accordingly to that. SpongeBob Squarepants The Cosmic Shake is a gift to fans of all ages and eras, packed with Easter eggs and references to the show's iconic history, meanwhile taking players on a journey throughout worlds built with solid platforming and design. I can only imagine what Purple Lamp could do with SpongeBob from here. I really do hope they can take more stabs at SpongeBob games. We love it, they love it, and hopefully Nickelodeon loves the money that should be coming to their pockets. You know, the shock of being wrong about anything is just a sensation that I'll never get used to. But I'm so happy to be wrong about my skepticism when it comes to this game. Let's just hope I don't change my mind in the next year or two because man, being fickle is such an annoying trait. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Riders. Ah yes, how can I help you, fan who looks inconspicuously like myself? I was wondering, which do you prefer, Battle for Bikini Bottom or the Cosmic Shake? That is because approximately 3 years ago, not 3 years, oh my god. editing.